it's about UNMAS. David Bax, who used to be the Somalia guy for UNMAS and was moved to Gaza for demining. I wanted to ask you straight up. I've heard that UNOPS, after this investigation, has decided to terminate his contract based on a finding of improper purchase of weaponry, which would be an anti-aircraft gun. Given the imperative of the UN personnel not being perceived as buying anti-aircraft guns, can you confirm it now, or will you
No,
today
I
confirm it or
can't,
not?
I can't confirm. The gentleman you mentioned worked for, was contracted for by UNOPS. I would encourage you to talk to them. And
I've
see
heard
what-
there's a communication from UNOPS to UNMAS, since all of the work that he did was for UNMAS. It just seems,
I understand, no, that I understand, but
Right.
his contract was
Right.
with UNOPS, and
I've never gotten any response from UNOPS, ever.
I can't speak for them.
Right. But so if UN agencies like UNMAS, which has a very public face, do their hiring through a kind of a, I don't want to say shadowy, but just, at least from my point of view, totally untransparent side entity, I'm asking you as the UN system spokesperson, is it true or not? Did
Well,
he buy an
and
anti-aircraft
as much
gun?
as I enjoy the promotion, I'm the spokesman for the Secretary General and not for the UN system.
Who's
I do,
UNOPS
I do,
spokesman?
I do amplify the message from the UN system,
Okay.
and I'm always happy to get a promotion, but I'm not sure I can shoulder that responsibility.
Who did you suggest I contact?
I will find you a press
Okay.
contact at UNOPS in Copenhagen. We could both go there.
UNOPS did respond, I'm happy to
Yeah.
say, but I wanted to ask you something, and you'll see why. On the question of whether, faced with reports of having purchased an anti-aircraft gun, Mr. Bax was left go, they've said the investigation is completed. We can confirm that the person concerned is no longer an employee of UNOPS. I don't want to misunderstand this as being that the two being connected, but the reason I want to ask you is, if in fact it was found, as I've heard, that he did buy an anti-aircraft gun, does this mean that he's banned from UN employment, a zero tolerance policy, or can a person working for UNMAS but technically employed by UNOPS be fired by UNOPS and reappear as an UNMAS person? So I'm asking you as the,
I don't.
how does it work?
It's a good. I would almost concede that it's a good question.
Right.
I don't know if there's such a ruling as a lifetime ban from working at the UN, but clearly, when people, and I'm not commenting specifically on this case because I don't know the details of how he was let go. Obviously, I would hope that when people apply for a job within the UN system, there is a minimum of reference checks, which would then show that some person has been let go of the UN system.
The reason I ask is because in the sexual abuse context, sometimes the UN, without naming who the people are, will say proudly, they'll never serve with us again. And so it seems like although this is not,
As I can't
is it
speak more
different for
because I
civilian
don't know.
personnel?
I can't answer that question at this point, on this day. Goodbye. It's been a pleasure.